Sunday night. The night before the week ahead, right? Anyway, I thought I would film a short video tonight because I don't have anything on my channel that explains who I am or what I'm doing. I think I did, but I don't know if I posted it or I can't find it, or I don't know. I'm not really good with this sort of thing. So I thought I would probably say something about why I'm doing this, because most of the people that have these channels are much younger than me. But I'm still, I can't find myself on YouTube. I can't find a channel that does what I want to do on YouTube. So I'm going to introduce myself. I'm a third grade teacher. My name's Heidi. And I teach at a really great school here in Sacramento. I'm actually in Fair Oaks, but I teach 26 kids and 52 parents. I don't even know, right? I mean, totally parent-involved school. I'm also a runner. I run marathons as a hobby. I'm not like gonna break any world records or anything, but I try. So just finished the Chicago Marathon. This is my 44th marathon this last week, and it's all right. Yeah, okay. For a woman my age. So yeah, my goal is to run a 3:30 marathon before I'm, told not to do it. I've come close. From 3:32, it's as close as I've come. But I'm running about a 3:45 marathon right now, so that's a whole other thing. But anyway, let's get back to this. So I follow a lot of teachers on YouTube because I love getting new ideas, but I love talking to somebody else because, let's face it, teaching is really isolating. It's performative, and it's challenging in a lot of different ways, but it's something I'm really passionate about. So, and I'm passionate about having fun with my job. So I don't have one of the things that I told myself that if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to film during the school day. So a lot of my videos I make are in the car on the way to work or home. In my classroom, it's before school or after school, but it's not during the day, during my prep times or during my lunch time, because that's my work time. I don't have time to pick up the camera at recess because the district pays me to get prep done then. So I do that. I also am, as I said, I think this is my 26th year teaching. I have 3 kids and a husband. Let me show you. There's from long ago. So that's my husband Brett and me and our 3 kids. But we don't look like that anymore because time passes, right? So this is us now. I don't know if you can see that or not. Very good picture, but it's Christmas time. Getting the tree. Anyway, I have a son in graduate school for physical therapy, which ironically was what I thought of doing before I was a teacher, but that's a whole other lifetime ago. And then I've got a daughter who's just finished, we have a daughter who just finished high school last year. We don't know if she's going to figure out. And our son Jack, who is Jackson, but we call him Jack, who's a high school sophomore, gonna get his driver's license in a few weeks. Busy life. My husband is an attorney here in town. We're normal people, but not always so normal because I like to have fun. I call my classroom Heidi's Chuckle Hut. So if you talk to anybody in my classroom and my students, they'll probably say, oh yeah, Heidi tries to make every day fun. I do. Doesn't mean I'm always funny. So I'm okay with that. It's fine. It's just fine. But this is to tell you what the channel is going to be about. I hope you come back and see what I'm doing because I'm watching you if you have a channel. And I enjoy just having every day be different. I don't get out last year's lesson plan and do what I did last year. I try to shake it up, make it work. And that's it. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but what I got, I just try to just keep moving forward. So anyway, get to know me, come back, and hopefully I'll teach you something or you can teach me something. I'll probably be the one learning more than you though, truth be told, because every day is a new day in my little brain. All right, you folks, I'll see you soon. Things into my classroom for, writing and things like that. But I'll tell you, one thing that we're doing differently this year, usually I do a leaf rubbing and a writing about fall, and it's a sensory poem. It feels like, it looks like, it sounds like, and all that. because of International Dot Day that I recognized this year, which is off of the author didn't start this, but it's off of the book, The Dot. Same author that wrote Ish, several other things. Anyway, not a plug for his book, although his writing is fabulous. He's more of an illustrator than a writer, but I coaxed our art teacher into doing an art thing off of that as well. So to try to pull in our specialists into that, and I really think it's important because our kids need to see them just as much as their teachers as their classroom teachers are. So he did this really cool thing. It's in the window in the classroom, but there's no writing to go with it. So in an effort to make sure that I incorporate what the kids are doing, I'm doing an activity today, a writing activity about color. And so even though it's not fall-ish, the kids can incorporate their idea of color into it, because the activity he did with them, this is really cool. They made dots out of dots. They were one big dot out of dots. So, but different colors and different mediums. They could use colored pencils, and they could use watercolor. That was how they did it. And again, that's part of the book that they talk about. The premise of the book is that there's a little boy and he can't seem to be able to draw or paint anything, so the teacher just says, making fun of his blank paper, saying, "Is that a polar bear in a snowstorm? What do you got going on there?" And he finally just went like that to the paper, and the teacher looked at it and went, "Okay, sign it." And he went, "What?" "Oh, okay." So he signed his paper with the dot on it. Well, the next day he comes to school and it's in a frame behind her desk, and he realizes that that's art to her, and that he can do art, and that he just has to make an effort. And so that's the whole point behind all of it. So the line is just, make a mark and see where it takes you. And to a third grader, making your mark is a really kind of out there concept. They don't really get that. So I've got to compartmentalize it into their understanding of, art is what you make it. So writing is as well. They just need guidance. So the writing activity with this, I created a scaffold off of a couple poems that I found on Pinterest. So it's kind of a culmination of sensory poem, but a color poem. And so I'm letting the kids use any colors that they want for the poem. You could write the poem just about one color, because it has connotations, right? I think that places like fast food places do studies on what colors make you want to eat and things like that. It's no joke. It's a real thing. And so I am allowing the kids to do any colors that they want. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. I shy away from giving them an example, only because they limit themselves if they do that to what looks like mine. So I'm really careful about that. But that's what we're going to do this morning after we get through our regular stuff. So that's how I'm starting out today on this Wednesday. We have a field trip tomorrow with our little buddies, our kinder buddies, to the pumpkin patch, which ought to be fun. So I always appreciate that trip. And I'm going to go in there right now. I'm early at school today because I'm having trouble with parking still. It's a whole different issue. But I wish some of these parents understood that we need to be close to our classrooms to haul all of our stuff in and out. But some of these parents don't really give a darn about that. So I'm going to leave that there. And my student teacher also has been coming with early wanting to meet. So I'm going to go in there and make sure that the classroom's ready for her to go. It always is before I leave for the day, though. I'm one of those teachers. I have to have everything in its place, or else I show up and think, So my schedule's already on the board, and the paper's already run off, and Oh, I do want to move around a couple of kids today. A couple of kids that need a change, and one kid in particular needs his desk spun around, so he can't get into it. He's not going to be happy with me today. But if I find one more pencil with the eraser plucked out of it, or both ends. I got a new poster. Let me see. I laminated it. It was from Chicago. But I like the way the message it says. Yeah, I'm mostly exhausted. Just for the record. It wasn't a PR for me, but it was a really good day. Anyway, I'm here now. Let me turn this off. In my classroom. It's dark. I'll turn the lights on though. And I always hang my keys by the door because we have a teacher here at our school who shall remain nameless, who I love, but he always seems to lose his keys. And so if he has a place to come to get his keys, or excuse me, borrow mine, he does. So they are there for him if he needs them. Let's go see how Franklin's doing, shall we? Franklin! How we doing today, buddy? Wake up. Hi! What's going on there, Mr. Wonderful? Yeah. Let's get you some food. Franklin is about 2.5, and I think one of my parents said that Franklin's actually a girl. I don't know. Franklin's our guinea pig. And I think that I'll leave it at that. But I'm not about to give my kids a lesson in reproduction or any of that stuff. So, how you doing today, Franklin? I got Franklin, by the way. I don't know if I've talked about this or anything, but Franklin is, it's not PetSmart, it's Petco that has a program, I believe. And I got her from that. There you go. And I paid, I don't know, a nominal fee, I think $20 or something, to be able to have a guinea pig, but I had to sign a waiver saying that I wasn't going to be using it for anything, you know, scientific-wise, meaning dissections and what have you. Yeah, I guess people do that. Not this teacher. No, not me. So, this is my classroom. I've probably done this before, but I'm going to do it again because I haven't been in here in a while. This is my classroom. This is what it looks like when I get to work in the morning. La 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 la. So, I put things out on their desks before I go home so I can walk in the classroom. If something happens, like I get, I don't know, an accident on the way to work, you know, you never know. Yeah, I want to be ready for that. So, the room's ready when I leave for the day. My flat screen TV, I'm just turning that on. It is October the 23rd today. Here's a medal my students made for me the other day when I got back from Chicago. There's the real medal, but then I like that medal better than that medal, if you ask me. And we are doing today, reading about animal adaptations, and we are doing multiplication. We're writing a conclusion in our writing. I've got to write up there about our poetry. And our science unit, I'm waiting for the curriculum to arrive. Really, really nice if they would get here. People from Twig, send me my stuff. That'd be really great. Our schedule today is behind me here. We're going to, I still can't figure out who owns that money up there, by the way. We're just going to walk through our day like this today, as we do. It just kind of begins and ends, you know, our day. But what I like the most about my day, and I don't know if anyone out there does this, but I have a favorite time of the day. And it's not when the kids go home. It's right after lunch and when we do read aloud. Let me turn this on. Because it's like, it's the second half of the day, but it's really the third, right? Our day's broken up into 3 thirds. First third is before recess. Second third is between recess and lunch, and the last third is between lunch and the end of the day. But I like that part because I like the fact that my kids can come in and sit down and listen to a book. And it's very calming, and I think listening is a skill that is very underrated. I'm going to sit you guys down so I can actually get my stuff unpacked. And also, the books I choose to read generally don't have pictures. So I'm using, I just finished Because of Winn-Dixie last week, and I'm reading The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. for the next two weeks. The author, Kate DiCamillo, I hope that's the way it's pronounced. Her books aren't long, but they're meaningful, and they have really great themes. And this one in particular is just one of self-discovery, and it comes full circle. You know, the main character, it goes through a girl's lifetime, but he goes through all these things and meets all these different people, just like the character does in Because of Winn-Dixie, but this is on a more profound level. So there's a real shift in his thinking and his ability to understand humanness. So it's a really great book. And the third graders are savvy enough to get that message. So I'm enjoying that. So anyway, so that's my favorite part of the school day, is right after lunch. And then we usually end up, in my schedule, in my classroom, we usually end up having we call it preps, but a lot of schools call it specials. We have either art or music or PE after that, except for Tuesday and Friday. Today being Wednesday, we have PE today, but we also have science in the afternoon, or social studies, and I teach science to both classes. So if my science stuff arrives today, I'll be teaching out of that. If it doesn't arrive, though, I've got a backup plan, like teachers always do, and that'll be a lesson with Mystery Science. And I used Mystery Science last year. We bought the license for it this year, so it's a nice backup to have, and they're great little lessons. So I'm going to go ahead and look into that and make sure I have that all ready to go. So I'm going to stop this right now and probably get back to you guys at the end of the day. Like I said, I don't do this during the school day, and I don't typically have time at lunch either, because that's my lunch, and that's the time I'm talking to my student teacher. And so I'm getting that all done. So anyway, I will chat to you guys at the end of the day when I look more worn out and tired, right? End of my Wednesday. Nice day today. Nice day today. But a busy day. Boy, I tell you, after Tuesday it starts getting easier, but I forget Wednesday's packed anyway. Even though I have a release time for kids to go to PE. It's the PE teacher comes for 40 minutes. It's still a busy day. End up spending my entire lunchtime working. So, what are you gonna do? Anyway, we have a field trip tomorrow to the pumpkin patch here out in where my school is, and the students are going to be going with their kindergarten buddies, which will be fun. So it'll be a busy morning. And I found a fun little word search, a pumpkin patch word search for the kids today. I put it on their desks before I left for tomorrow morning. Nothing but a word search. I know you guys have to do word searches with your class, but it gets noisy. They don't just find a word and find another word. They find a word and tell their friends, I found this word, I found that word. Look for this, look for that. So I just need them to stay busy while the parents get situated as far as finding out which car they're driving and, you know, whether they have all the things they need, things like that. So I think what I should do probably tomorrow is provide an incentive to say, you know, here's a Jolly Rancher. We can get things like that at our school. Here's Jolly Rancher for you if you can find at least 10 of these 20 words on your own without talking to anybody. Which, you know, for our school, we're a community. We help each other. So that's going to be weird for them. They would think, well, I'm not supposed to share this. So, and it's worth a try. Although I always worry about giving kids any candy that's hard like that, because I don't want them to choke in the classroom, but that's just me. Haven't had it happen yet, 25 years, so probably won't happen tomorrow. But that's just the thing I'm thinking about, to get them to do that. But we're supposed to leave at about 8:45 tomorrow. I know, a lot of times I think a trip like this is kind of a waste. Like, okay, I'm wasting an entire academic morning. But the kids learn a lot on a trip like this. And I think a lot of these things we take for granted that we do. So it's important. I'm going to read them a book tomorrow called How Many Seeds in a Pumpkin. I read that every year. And I had to learn so much teaching, but the lines on a pumpkin, you guys probably all know this, I did not for this book, are where the seeds are. And if you want a pumpkin with a lot of seeds, get a pumpkin with a lot of lines on it. And then the pumpkins that are darkest have been, of course, been there longer. So size sometimes doesn't really factor in to the number of seeds in a pumpkin. We won't be cutting pumpkins open tomorrow. They take them home. We just emphasize the fact that you don't really want to hold it by the stem because that'll break. And we want to make sure we bring extra Sharpies so all the moms and dads can put the kids' names on the bottom of their pumpkins. It's cute. And of course that they don't lose their buddies. Even the parents are there tomorrow. Those little kindergartners are kind of slippery and squirrely. They get away easily. So anyway, we're doing that, and I'm hoping that kids remember to bring lunches tomorrow. I put that on my overhead, and I sent home a little flyer yesterday. So hopefully they'll remember. I always bring extra food because, you know, there's going to be that one kid who's went to mom's house last night instead of dad's house, and then so no one's going to starve tomorrow, not on my watch. Anyway, we'll do that. I actually was able to get to that poem today. I think I mentioned it this morning, the Dot poem, and it went really well. I had them title the poem The Dot, My Dot, instead of a color, which I'd originally thought of doing. So I let them, you know, use any of these colors they wanted. So I purposely only gave them a small window of time to do this because I thought, I know what they'll do. They'll start getting ideas and talking about them before they write them. So I only have one group who really, one group Jones did. They got out of the I think there were 12 lines to fill in. They might have filled in 4 or 5. And so I'm going to give them the opportunity to complete that on Friday when we are doing something else. They can do that. It won't take them long because Friday we have fun activities. So they'll do that then and they'll get it done. I'm going to hopefully see if they can type these in too themselves. It's a skill that it's really important. It's right up there with cursive anymore, keyboarding. So they may be typing them tomorrow. Or if I get really into it tonight, I may just type it myself. And that'll motivate the kids who didn't finish theirs today to do that. So, may do that. I don't know. Tomorrow, on Thursday in our district, we have an early day. I don't know in other districts what they do. I know a lot of school districts do 1 day a week where the kids leave an hour early like ours do. But the truth of the matter is we ended up making the school day 15 minutes longer, or 10 minutes longer. Is that right? 10 minutes longer? Yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago. And incrementally, people don't notice it, but you know, that way we don't lose any minutes from the daytime. So the kids think they're getting out early, but really they've already paid it forward with the extra 10, 15 minutes they've done being in school longer the other school days. So that works well. Anyway, so we have that. And then our big thing on Friday night coming up is our carnival, our school carnival. And our community comes together for that. I think that's really neat. But this happened today. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I'm going to throw it out there. We have spirit days that lead up to things like our carnival and all that. Our spirit day on Friday is Red Ribbon Day, so we wear something red. However, originally it was going to be Nerd Day, just like a nerd. I bought some socks at the store that were really funny. It's a kind of company, but they do the funniest things. They make these bags and they make socks, and they say just funny things on them, like let's see, hands off my doodads. That's what it says on my pencil box. I'm difficult. That's what one of them says. And they're really like retro. Anyway, so I bought a pair of socks to say I'm a nerd and not the good kind. I don't think it'd be kind of fun to wear on that day. Well, they switched it up and changed it to Red Ribbon Day. No big deal. I didn't care. Well, it was brought to my attention today why they did that. And of course, it's because of being sensitive to groups of people that are nerds. As long as the sun rises and sets, there will always be people who dress out of fashion and don't shower regularly. That's just the name of the game. But I can understand where people say we're making fun of them by dressing, you know, with tape on our glasses and things like that. Personally, I think there's a little bit of nerd in all of us, to be honest with you. And I don't think that's such a bad thing. But I was just kind of surprised that they did that. Really surprised. Because, I don't know, usually change something like that, you know. But, no big deal. I mean, I support that. I don't want to offend anybody, ever. That's not, you know, my thing. But I don't know how you guys feel about that out there. Nerd Day. So, we have other spirit days, though. We have Crazy Hair Day, Pajama Day, which I hate. I have a personal problem with it, Pajama Day.
I think students view you in your pajamas like you're going to be acting like you're in your pajamas, which means you're going to be relaxed and sit around. I don't do that well, so I usually don't dress pajama day-ish. However, at our school we do dress up like Halloween costumes. In Halloween costumes. It used to be book characters we had to dress up as, but I think I talked about that this morning on the way to work. So anyway, that being said, the week's almost over, and October will be over soon. I cannot believe that. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know how the rest of this school year goes. I am running the California International Marathon here in Sacramento. I think it's on the 8th of December, if my memory serves. It's usually on the first Sunday, if there's a Saturday in December, but it doesn't fall on the 1st of December ever. So I think it's on the 8th. And I want to run 3:25. That's my new goal. 3:23 really, but we'll see. I ran with, what's her last name? Emma, what's your last name out there? I ran with you in Chicago for about 15 seconds. And Kelly too, who has a vlog. Oh my goodness, Emma, I'm so glad I can't remember your last name right now. I will, I'll put it in here. I'll type it in below. Just so people can find your vlog, because you're really cute. But she ran about that pace, and I know I can do that. It just wasn't in the cards for me in Chicago. I've ran a 3:32 before, but I know I can do better. The thing is, I really thought about last night. My friend Emma is, I don't know, I think she's 24. No, 18, 19, 20, no, 23. 23. And Emma, you were so funny about your marathon because you finished it up today. It wasn't that bad. 3:28. Well, it was. It's hard. That's hard to do. And I'm 55, people. 55. And so lately I've been running, longer than that. I run usually a 3:45 average lately for my marathons. And I think I'm 55. I should run that slow. So anyway, I was just thinking I'm going to really push it. I'm going to do some speed work, and we're going to get my butt to the gym before December 8th, and I'm going to really push it. But it's going to be work. And for my friends like Emma, and then Kelly too, I think Kelly's 30, trying to qualify for Boston. You people are young out there, so giddy up out there. It's harder for those of us that aren't that young anymore to do that well. Although I still aspire to it. I don't really see myself as middle-aged, although I am. But I thought about it before I went to bed last night after watching her vlog, and I went, Heidi, she has not had 3 kids. She's super cute and super fit. And she's got the nicest, freshest attitude ever about just having fun with those things, and does well. And then she ran in college. I didn't run in college. I ran from the police in college. No, I'm just kidding. I actually didn't. I wish I could say I had an exciting college life at Long Beach like that, but kind of mundane. Kind of got good grades. Kind of worked a lot. So, anyway, that's my running side of today's vlog. I run every morning, so I won't just say I ran this morning because I ran this morning. But I incorporate speed work on Tuesday and Thursday. Today is Wednesday, so no speed work this morning, but tomorrow morning, gonna do some speed work, buddy. And then I keep myself kind of on the edge of easy, fast, easy, fast, easy, fast. Gotta shake up this little body of mine. Anyway, I'm going to end this vlog here because I think that I've got enough here for the end of this wonderful Wednesday. It is pretty warm here in Sacramento right now. I think it is, 88 degrees, almost 90, I think, right now, and it's like almost 5 o'clock. Crazy. And on October the 23rd, really. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be wearing some pumpkin patch clothing. Check it out. Pumpkin patch today. Hi, it's Thursday. It's the 24th of October. And we are headed out today with our buddies, our kindergarten buddies, to the pumpkin patch. So I've got my great pumpkin Charlie Brown shirt on today. Believer since 1966, it says on here. I guess that's when Charles Schulz created the great pumpkin for Linus. Dear, dear Linus. That movie was on a couple nights ago, and I watched it in real time, didn't tape it or watch the DVD. Gosh, it reminds me of all those times in Halloween growing up that I looked forward to Halloween so much because it was a candy thing. and I'm not a Halloween fan now, but it was sure a fun little holiday when I was growing up, and it's fun for my little kiddos that I teach and my own personal children too. But watching it, Linus wrote a letter to the Great Pumpkin, and he wrote, I can't believe this. I was thinking about, like, reading it as an adult. The letter starts, Dear Great Pumpkin, if you're a fake, don't tell me, I don't want to know. Love, Linus. Really? I don't know, I just thought that was kind of a funny thing for Charles Oates to throw in there. But, yeah, kind of funny. So, anyway, so the day today will be about that. And then we come back from this trip, and we'll have a chance to do a little bit of reading to my kiddos, and they'll have a music prep. But we are training today for the iReady program, which I've used already in summer school, and I'm pretty familiar with it. And it's, you know, it's used as in my case, it's going to be used as a support tool. It's not going to be something that my whole class uses. I find sometimes programs like the AR program, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, it's the Accelerated Reader program. The kids take quizzes on books they've read. Can become, for some teachers, I guess, some kind of a replacement for good teaching or keeping kids busy. I don't know. I guess I'm real careful with things like that, because I'm not that. I don't think many of us are, but I think it's easy to get yourself to the point where, you know, take an AR test. I need to do this, or you need to do that. It stands in as something else, and so none of that replaces a guided reading groups, for example, or anything like that. So I know that we can use it for kids who need supplemental support or need review of things like that. So I'm going to use it dutifully, like I'm supposed to, as as part of our staff, and we'll see how it goes. It was really great in summer school, because so the program that I was doing was actually for kids who had IEPs. Every single one of the kids had an IEP, and so it really was a good way to differentiate, individualize the kids 4 hours, in summer school. So that was good. But we'll see how it works in real time and see how the kids respond to it. We were given our principal applied for a grant for this, so $10,000 grant. I hope it's money well spent. Again, so even if I don't agree with it, I'm using it because of that. And I don't know, I think that it's really important to have some solidarity on a staff. Even though you have your own opinion about things, it doesn't help to put your foot down about things. It's not a hill I want to die on. So we'll see how it goes. So our training today is from 3 to 5, and I'm going to be able to share a few of my experiences with it during the summertime, but mostly I'm just listening. And I want to be more receptive to new ideas. I need to be better about that as a person, not just as a teacher, but as a human being, to be open to other people's opinions. Somebody said the other day, "Oh, I thought you liked this," and they said, "Yeah, you know what? I changed my mind." That's pretty powerful, to change your mind. And maybe it's surprising because the older you get, the less people do that. But I think that's okay. It doesn't make you wishy-washy. It doesn't make you flaky, whatever you want to use for that term. It makes you open-minded. It makes you able to grow and see things that you might not have seen before. And I firmly believe that we operate out of fear, and that what we don't understand, it scares us. It scares us because it plays around with our set of, not just our set of beliefs, but our set of rules for ourselves. And when you upset the apple cart like that, it creates a little friction in your mind there. So I think it's really good for us to notice when we're operating out of fear. I think we do that with other cultures. I think we do that with people's ways of being in the world. I think it happens a lot with immigrants. And again, not just in my experience with education, but everything. Listen, people, there's room for everybody, okay? There's room for everybody. I'm just going to say that. It's my PSA for the day, but You fear what you don't understand. That's my message today out there in the world. But right now I understand that the sun's about to be in my eyes. I hate that. I was explaining to the kids the other day, the sun is in my eyes on the way to work and on the way home. Because that's the way the world, the earth rotates. Yeah. So the sun rises this way and it sets that way. So I guess I should probably be used to it by now, but I'm kind of not. Ugh. I'm getting to work right now. It's 7:45. I should be getting there with plenty of time to get ready for the day. My breakfast will probably already be taken. I stopped at the store to get food for a couple of kids who I know probably will forget lunches. Kids do that, you know. They forget when we have a field trip, they have to bring their own lunch. So I brought some extra food and some expensive groceries here. Yes, I like having color printing. I color printed up ink, and it's not something that just pays for. So your tax dollars are worth, people. I pay for this myself, and I don't get reimbursed for my printer ink. But I have HP has a program, not just for teachers, but for people. That you can order ink and have it delivered to your house for either $5 a month, $10 a month, or I think it's $20 a month, depending on how much you want. It's really great. But my printer wasn't on the list, the one that I have at work.